Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Leadership Satsang. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Kapoor Mehdirata. Thank you so much for joining me for this last Satsang of the year 2023. And today I'm joining you from Goa. So I finally took some break from work for life. And I'm here with my family enjoying Goa and the vibes, the New Year vibes and the Christmas vibes. It's so lively, it's so beautiful. But that doesn't keep me away from you. Nothing can. So I'm right here to connect with you all. And as every last week of the month, today as well, we're going to take up questions that you have in the space of leadership or spirituality. But before we get there, let's do what we always do, and that is to bring ourselves into this moment completely. So please join me for Om chant, which we will do 5 times together. Om is the most universal, most powerful chant that we can ever practice. It helps us to come into this moment, into the present moment completely. There are 3 syllables in Om, O, Ma. From the mid onwards, we release Ma as we exhale. And before that, we pronounce O. I'm going to show it to you once, and then we will do it together. So we breathe in. And as you breathe out, you chant Om. For as long as you can. Now, when you throw the voice out, you will be able to feel vibrations only here in your vocal cord. But when you take the voice in, is when you can feel vibrations from here till your solar plexus. Just try this out with me. So let's do it once again. Eyes closed, spine straight and shoulders relaxed. Take a nice deep breath in. And breathe out. And with the next breath, we'll chant Om together. And whenever you're ready, rub your palms together till you can feel the warmth between your hands, and then gently place them on your eyes and face, ears, and neck, and the entire body, and slowly come back. How are you feeling? Where are you in this moment? Let's have it in the chat. I'd love to have some comments from you all. Where are you joining me from today? Which location, which city? And how are you feeling right now as you bring yourself to this moment right here? Let's have a quick sharing in the chat so I can welcome you all to the satsang today. And also take the opportunity to take up your questions, places where you are stuck in life, where you want to unstuck yourself so that you can truly move on. Moving on is the only way we can create anything in life. You see, the only thing that we can design is the future. what we can analyze is the past. Now, as much as analysis helps us to learn something, but if we get stuck with just the analysis, we have no energy or time left to design how we want life to be. So as much as I'm sure you're enjoying your last week of the year and you also have some plans with family, just as how I'm here in Goa right now with mine, please do make time to sit and reflect upon how the year was. What is it that you are proud of in terms of what you achieved in this year? What are some of the key learnings that you've had this year? And what is it that you want to achieve in the year to come? Who do you want to become? That's the most important question to think about. So please make time to do that before you enter the year 2024. And we had put out the opportunity for people to ask questions on LinkedIn. So I have a few questions from there already, and I'm going to pick up a few of them. And in the meantime, if there is anything you want to ask, just put it in comments and I will try my best to come to it and answer your questions. All right, so give me a moment. Let me see what are some of the questions we already have here. All right, so the first question is, what role does self-discipline play in achieving New Year's resolution? What role does self-discipline play in achieving New Year resolution? So this is the time of the year when we are all resolving to do this and that, right? The resolutions that we make, the goals that we set. As cliche as it sounds, as stereotype it is for one to do this as an activity, I think that it is very, very important to be done. The worst case scenario is that you will not be able to achieve what you're putting down as your resolution. But to not have one means you don't even know what you want to achieve, isn't it? So if you're asking this question, I'm quite sure that you have a few resolutions in place and you are looking forward to achieving them. And that in itself is a great start. Now let's talk about the importance of discipline in achieving anything, not just New Year resolution, but anything that you need to achieve in life needs to be done with discipline. Discipline is a trait of a leader. Discipline is non-negotiable. Because as leaders, we need to build in self-drive, right? Something that keeps us motivated, something that keeps us going. And for that, we need to ensure that we are clear about why we are doing what we are doing. The most important thing for us to bring in that discipline, the much needed discipline in whatever we do, is to be clear about why we are doing whatever we are doing. When you're clear about your reason for doing what you do, it becomes easier to bring that discipline in. Let's take an example of exercise, a very typical challenge that many people face, that, I want to exercise every day, but I'm not able to do that. I don't have the discipline to do it consistently. Now, if you ask yourself, why is exercise important for you? And if the answer is because I should exercise, you will forever struggle with consistency. You will forever struggle with lack of discipline. Because should brings a lot of burden with it. When I should do something, the willingness somewhere is compromised already. But when I want to do it, is when I'm more motivated to do whatever I want to do. Right? And that's when discipline becomes easier. Motivation comes in easy. And that's what I mean by that self-drive. That self-drive comes in when you are clear about why you want to do what you want to do and not something that you have to do. And even if it is a have to do, what is it that you want to do in that direction? So what is the purpose that this solves, this activity that I think I have to do? Is that important for you? Is the purpose behind this have to important for you? Till you get into that level of depth, it will always be a challenge to bring in discipline. I just don't know any other way to say this because it's true. Discipline doesn't come easy to anybody, but it becomes much easier when you are clear about why you need to do this task, where you need to bring in more discipline. So whether it is a New Year resolution or any other goal or target that you set for yourself, as clear as you can be about the why, about the purpose, it becomes that much easier for you to be able to do it with a lot more discipline and consistency. So I hope this answers your question. And with that, let me move to the next one right here in my list. And that is, how can one create a realistic action plan to support the goals? Realistic action plan. I love the specificity in the question, right? Very, very specific. How do I make my action plan realistic? That is a very important thing to look at when you create any goal, as much as it should be ambitious. In fact, you could set an impossible goal for yourself. But to make that impossible possible, you need to clearly specify some action point or action plans that will help you to get there. So how do you make it realistic? Is to bring that big action plan, which is 30,000 feet high, which is more generic and holistic, down to daily tasks, from what I want to achieve in 1 year to, for that, what I need to do in a month, from that to what I need to do every single day. When you bring it down to that level of detailing is when you will know very clearly whether this is possible or not possible. Let me give you an example. So I have done my goal setting already. I'm clear about what numbers I'm looking at for next year, the purpose for having those numbers in place, and what is it, going to help me with. So I've done that bit of exercise. Now, when I was doing this, the targets or revenue was not the only number on the sheet. Another very, very important number, other than, of course, expenses, when you're planning revenues, you also plan expenses to know what the profits will look like month after month. But most importantly, what I also monitor and calculate is capacity. My capacity to be able to spend the kind of time I need to spend. Some of this is direct delivery, where I need to be present myself, like a one-on-one coaching session that I do, or if I'm taking up a workshop for senior executives for corporates. These are the tasks or situations where I need to be present. And so I need to calculate my bandwidth. How much time do I have in a day? How much time do I have in a month, in a quarter, in a year? And if I'm planning to achieve what I'm planning to achieve, how is that going to fit into my daily calendar? Sometimes the plan looks very doable on Excel sheet, but what we forget to look at is how am I going to find the time to do what I need to do? So in my specific situation, since I am the one who also needs to deliver where I need to ensure that it is realistic. I have that much time in a day. If it's 8 hours, it cannot be all 8 hours in delivery, not every day. So how do I kind of plan? And according to that, how much work can I take up for myself that I can commit to deliver? How much work can I take up for my teams where we need to have internal meeting? But that for me will be 1 hour of briefing and meeting, but not delivery. So they will deliver. So we kind of need to do this capacity planning along with the target setting or goal setting that you do. Now, this is one way to make it realistic. But whenever you bring whatever goals you have down to daily numbers, you will be able to challenge how realistic it is. It could be difficult, but it cannot be unrealistic. Otherwise, very soon you will lose the motivation to do it. And that's for sure, right? Because you've planned to get there and you're nowhere close. So after some time, you will think that this is not going to happen. And then you come back to what I call as your point of equilibrium, your normal, which has always been where you have been. So if you want to raise the bar, if you want to get to a new normal, you need to create a very specific, clear, doable, yet ambitious plan. And what helps us to do that is to create a support system. Support system is a very powerful way for us to achieve what we want to achieve, to raise the bar for ourselves, to kind of create a new benchmark. Not everything can be done by us alone, and it doesn't have to be that way. There is a lot more support around us than we seek. So what we need to do, and a great time for me to put this out to you all as we start a new year, see if you can really open yourself up for seeking support. giving support, providing support is much easier than asking for it. Because giving support makes us feel good, right? We look good, we feel good that we are there to support people. But when we have to ask for support, a lot of our ego comes in. It's very uncomfortable for a few people to put their hand up and say, I need help. But to be able to say that, you need a lot of humility. And humility is another important trait for a leader, isn't it? But the best part is when you put your hand up to ask for support, even though you don't know where the support will come from, as much as it surely will come in, half of the task is done as you put out to the universe that you're looking for help, you're looking for clarity, you're looking for some support. So please feel free to ask for support. Push yourself if you're not able to ask for support. You don't have to do it all by yourself. And this support system could be a community that you're a part of, like SEL Mastermind that I nurture on WhatsApp. Beautiful community of some amazing leaders who are there to learn servant leadership. So every other day we reflect upon different aspects of leadership and support each other and share the reflection on those questions and make sure that if anybody gets stuck anywhere, everybody else just comes into support. So you need to kind of be a part of a like-minded community, a tribe that you feel more belonged to. And there are many, many such opportunities available. You just need to look around to see. So please do that, because that in itself is going to help you stick to this realistic plan that you're making for yourself. All right, so with that, let's get to the next question. Let's see what the next question is. Okay, what impact do external influence such as society expectations have on our ability to achieve our goals? Well, that depends on you. The impact that external influence can create on you, whether it is the expectations of the society or family or anybody else other than you, is what you take on yourself. It is, so let me put it like this. Pressure cannot be exerted on people. You cannot put pressure on people. People can only take pressure upon themselves. So you can't put pressure on me. I can take pressure on myself. It's here. It's in my head. If I don't take that pressure, you can't put any pressure on me. And the same thing holds true with expectations, right? People's expectations, society's expectations are what they think we should do. That doesn't make it a compulsion for us to do it. Till such time it makes sense for us to do it. Till such time we agree with whatever the views are, of people around. So you're not ever pressurized by people. You take that pressure upon yourself. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with this pressure and pressure of expectations or any other, you need to ask yourself, why am I allowing this pressure to come on me? Like, why am I not sticking to the reason and the purpose for which I'm doing or not doing whatever I'm engaged with? And that helps you to focus on what you are committed to do. Right? Nobody is obliged to live up to everybody else's expectations. It is a very, very, not just difficult, but very unrealistic and uncalled for self-expectation or pressure that we put on ourselves, to just please everybody and make everybody happy. You know that it will never happen. Nobody can manage to keep everybody happy. Right? Somebody or the other will be disappointed in some or the other way. There will always be a shortfall of expectations that you can achieve. So that's a futile goal to have. A much better goal is to see what is it that I need to learn to bring more value for people, to become more valuable myself, so that I can create the impact I so want to create on people around, right? In the process, some people will be proud of you, some might be a little disappointed, and that's part of the package. So that's not what we're aiming at. Because if you're aiming at something like that, then a lot of our energy, in fact, all of it, is just getting spent on proving ourselves. And that's what, needs to be questioned. Why do you need to prove yourself, and to who? Is it really as important as you think it to be? Are the expectations really as real as they look or appear to you? And is it really that important to live up to these expectations? What is it that you are achieving by doing so? How is it serving you? Very important questions to ask. Important to reflect upon why you do what you do, especially when it is not working for you, when it is not adding to you, when it is not adding any value or peace to your life. Because if you're allowing something to take this peace away, then that's as much as you have to offer to the world around you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't fill yourself up with peace and love, then there is no way you can give it outside of you. You can only give to people what you have within you. So you need to fill yourself up first with love, with peace, with happiness, with pride, with clarity, with purpose. And only then can you put it out to the world. And if you're able to do that, you will see no reason to prove yourself to anyone whatsoever, and whosoever. You will know why you do what you do, and that in itself is very fulfilling, very, very fulfilling. So I hope you find the answer to your question in this somewhere, because it's a deeper intervention to have when you feel stuck with expectations from others. You really need to go a level deeper to see where these expectations are coming from and why are you feeling the pressure of it. And I think once you reflect upon it for a bit and then come back to this recording and my response, maybe it'll make a little more sense to you than it is right now. Yeah, so I'll leave you with that and pick up one last question for today. And that is, are there effective ways to modify or adjust our goals throughout the year? So obviously these are all New Year goal setting related questions and all resolution related questions. But I think it's also a very good time to ask these kind of questions. So some successful techniques for reflecting upon past and improving the future goal setting. All right. So I will share with you what I do. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but I do it like this and it works very well for me. Right. So I ask myself 2 questions. In fact, I ask these questions after every workshop, every coaching session, every event I do, every time I'm on stage as a speaker and I come off stage, I have these 2 questions on my mind. And the next best opportunity, I write it down, write the response to these questions. So the first question is, what did I do well? What went well? And that's a question you can ask yourself for the year 2023 as well. What went well in the year 2023? What did I do well? What did I do well? And the second question is, what could I have done better? What could I have done better? The first question has to be answered first. So the order of these 2 questions is very, very important. Before you criticize yourself or find faults or imperfections in whatever you have done, it's important to remind yourself of what went well, how far you have come. You know, the gain mindset and not the gap mindset. So there is a book on it. I think Benjamin Hardy is the author, if I'm not wrong. Very, very interesting book. You should pick this up. I think Gain and Gap or something like that is the title, but you should definitely read it. It's an interesting concept that says that if you keep looking at the gap in terms of, you know, what hasn't gone well, what wasn't right, you will always pull yourself back, pull yourself down. If you want to push yourself forward and create the future for yourself, design it the way you want it to be, you need to adapt to a gain mindset, which is, how far have I come? And how far ahead do I want to go? That's a gain mindset, right? So to say that I've come as far as this, and this is what I have done right, this is what I have done well to get to this point. And from here on, these are some of the things I need to learn from my past or otherwise to get to my next level, right? So let's use these questions to reflect upon the year 2023 and prepare ourselves for 2024. What went well this year? What could I have done better? And the third question that I want to add is, who who do I want to become in the year 2024? Who do I want to become? What kind of a person do I want to become? Do I want to become a more disciplined person? Do I need to become or want to become wealthier, right? And what does wealth mean? Can I be more specific about that? That this is who I want to become. I want to become somebody who is a sought after speaker, or I want to become somebody who is a respected leader. Who do I want to become? And if I'm clear about who I want to become, I will know what do I need to do to become that. And that is what will help you to bring it down to a goal setting level. That I want to become that. And for me to be that person, I need to work on these 5 things. And then these 5 things become my goal. And to achieve that goal, each one of the 5, I can chart out an action plan, which is something that you will pull off very easily. I'm super confident about that. But don't just set goals because you're expected to set these goals, some money goals, some health goals, some family time goals, because this is expected of you. This is what you should do. Instead, see if you can ask yourself a real question. And that is, who do you want to become in the year 2024? And that question will help you to arrive at some real goals, goals which are yours, goals that you want to achieve and not something that you should achieve. Right? So I hope this has helped you in some way to set the right tone for the year to come. Sometime in the first 2 weeks of next month in Jan, I intend to put out a goal setting workshop, which will be a very, very different way for us to understand goals and then set them in the right manner so that we can build the strategy to achieve these goals. So more on that later, maybe later this week, we will share the details. And I would hope you to attend the session. So watch the space to get the details so that you can go levels deeper with me in this workshop and come out of it with absolute clarity, crystal clear clarity on who you want to become and how are you going to get there. On that note, let's conclude today's satsang. Thank you so much for joining in. There is a massive lag on the bandwidth right now, so I'm not able to see the comments, but I can feel your presence. I know you're here with me. Thank you so much for joining in week after week. This entire series of satsang sessions that we have done in 2023 have been the best time for me in the entire week. Tuesday evenings is something that I so look forward to, that despite being here in Goa, I wanted to ensure that whatever is planned is done in a way that I get these 30 minutes with you. And I'm glad that happened as planned. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you all a great, great, fantabulous year ahead. And I do hope that you never, ever, ever stop learning. We'll continue with our satsang sessions next week with some more insight in the space of leadership and spirituality. Till then, wish you a very, very happy new year. Please take very good care of yourself. I will see you real soon. God bless you all.